not looking good. And so Trump demanded a nationwide gerrymandering effort from Republicans, hoping to rig congressional maps to give his party a better chance at keeping control of the House. Of course, Texas was the first state to cave to Trump. But then Democrats fought fire, with California Governor Gavin Newsom leading the state to overwhelmingly approve of redistricting campaign at the ballot box. Both sides have been fighting across the country ever since. But the standout state, the state that stood up to the sitting president, was Indiana. Republicans in Indiana crossed party lines and rejected the gerrymandering effort, despite threats to their safety and promises to boot them out of office. Joining us now, John Bisignano, president of the National Democratic Redistricting Committee.
John, I think this story of redistricting is not just a story of this year, but will be the story of the 2026 election, and will have immense consequences for the next presidential election. What say you?
Yeah, I think you're right, Simone, and I think it will probably continue to have influences and complications as we look to 2028 and 30 as well, all before another census in 2030 when we're going to have every state redraw after that. So, Indiana is an incredible moment, and I'd be happy to talk about that, but I do want to caution folks that I don't think Indiana is the end. A lot of folks have been feeling like maybe Indiana's kind of slowed things down, and indeed it has in some ways, but for the most part, I think we are still squarely in the middle of this man-made, Trump-made crisis that we're all living through, and that's not going to end anytime soon.
Indiana was truly an incredible moment because we have asked since the beginning of this administration what it would take for Republicans to stand up to this president. I think you agree with me, the fact that it came from Republicans outside of Washington is such a tell. So yes, you are right. I think people have been very optimistic. You, though, as you said, you see it almost as a speed bump. So then what do you think happens next?
Look, I think the biggest two things for folks that are focused on redistricting to continue to keep in mind as we look to the new year. The first is a Supreme Court case before the Supreme Court focused on Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. If they do some damage or repeal or